Okay. Okay. And we're back. Scene change.
Yes.
Other dimension. Speaking of multiple dimensions. Technology has been on one the last couple days, so we just gonna play by its book and its rules and just switch things up as we need to. Um, it's been great thus far. Thank you so much, Sanyu, for joining me,
Sure. My pleasure.
being so open about sharing your experiences, sharing just a little bit about what you've been going through. Again, multidimensionality in the sense that, there's so much happening all the time in all the ways across all the versions of yourselves and the aspects of yourselves, and you as a human, and then you as however you identify, and for the purposes of this conversation and this initiative, you as someone who falls under this category of supporters, healers, space holders, and whatnot. You are navigating all of that in whatever ways you need to at any given time. So thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Yes. Anytime, sistar. Anytime.
So, how I'd like to finish this conversation is by asking you to describe, from your perspective, for you specifically, given this work that you do, in the soothsaying, this metaphysical work, this channeling work, tapping into spirit to provide people with the information that they came to you to hear, even if they don't feel like they want to hear it sometimes. What do you feel, and how do you feel you need support? And based on how you are witnessing those in this field, we would call it in our tradition egg bay, your specific group of specific types of space holders, based on your observations and based on your conversations, how do you feel, or in what ways do you feel the entire group of you can be supported?
Yes. Um, I'd say, as we were talking about, like healing to heal, right? Healing to heal, being the healing one in order to help the healing of others, that it's the same with soothsaying. And that, what I do need from people is for them to be honest with themselves so they can be honest with me. I can adjust very easily to people's truths when I trust they're true. But when I think you're lying to yourself because of my willingness to be so ruthlessly transparent with myself, then I don't think you're going to be honest with me, right? Like, I need to trust that I can trust you to grow and not to resist that growth, because it's my whole work to help people grow into their growth, willingly, intentionally, and eventually, ideally, joyfully. And, we're all working on that. Okay, everybody, it's not all fucking roses and daisies over here. But to know that you can be yourself, and that if you just do that to the best of your ability at every moment, giving that moment's version of you the opportunity to come forward and come forward and come forward, that you will naturally resonate with everyone who is for you and everyone who's not for you. And for the people in my life, sometimes that can be us for each other, and sometimes we're not for each other, and there's no animosity. No one is wrong for not being in alignment or being compatible. What would be wrong is to force alignment. So being honest with yourself so you can be honest with me is as much about saying when you need to go or what you can't do as it is admitting what you're just afraid that you can't do, as it is just being willing to see if you can do what you haven't done. And in my opinion, those are all points along a spectrum. So once you accept one, then you accept the next one, then you accept the next one. The resistance keeps you from being on that trajectory. It keeps you stagnant. It keeps you spinning your wheels, as we say, and not letting them touch the ground, which is what they're supposed to do. So allow yourself to be yourself so you can do what you are supposed to do. And trust that that will be the alignment maker. As a soothsayer, I joke, that my job is helping people be okay with I ask people to help me help them be okay with the fact that they're alive. And of course, if I ask my clients that, I ask that of my friends, I ask that of my family members, I ask that of my colleagues, I ask that of strangers. Like, I can exist and you can exist, and that can be fine, no matter what that looks like. But let's be as clear about what we understand about that as possible so that we can get to the clarity of that image, I wouldn't say sooner than later, but like on time. Instead of after time, that's what I need from the individuals in my life, and that's what I ask for. And that's also, I think, why I'm kind of an intense person, but actually like in a low maintenance connection when we're actually aligned, because that I just have that expectation, and that I will grow into that with you, which doesn't mean that we won't have like tense moments, but that I will always come back around because I'm not asking you to do anything that I myself won't do. And that's a big part of soothsaying thing, I think, too, that I don't ask you to do anything that I am not willing to do. Which is something I've said most often to like men being cishet, like in relationships, like, I'm not asking you to do anything that I won't do myself or that I haven't already done many times. So just be willing to meet me. If someone's not willing to meet me, I can't have a connection with them. And I like connecting with people. I was just writing today on my little birthday reflection posts. Oh, hello, Camille. On my little birthday reflection post that, there's no such thing as a boring person. There's no such thing as a bad person. There's just people you're not in alignment with. And so long as you don't try to force them to be in alignment with you, then what you're doing is you're doing it to yourself. That's your business. That's your right. So I'm not trying to make you what I want you to be. I just want you to own what you say you're doing and what you are doing. Because often for a lot of people, those is not the same things. And as a soothsayer, I literally can't do what I do for a living if I don't do what I do for myself. I don't have the range if I'm not willing to have the range, which is actually that's a little from my higher self telling me about singing right now. Hey, whatever. But yeah, that's what I need as a person. That's what I need as a person who is healing myself. And that's what I would love for someone to promise me, like I will do everything I am capable of to grow with you. I mean, literally, that's all I could ask.
And just to be clear, folks, how do I want to say this? Because from my perspective, and this is across the board with anything, not just in the world of healer supporters, there are those who operate from integrity and those who do not operate from integrity. There are those who come to do the work of the thing that they say they're coming to do the work of that thing. And there are those who are doing something different, but calling it that thing. So let's just be clear. And so, from my perspective, Sanyu is a person that has a lot of integrity. And part of her integrity includes, as she has spoken about, being honest with herself, working on herself constantly. If she makes a mistake or does something that is out of alignment for the integrity that she has set for herself, part of her integrity is to be like, oh, I recognize that, and how do I course correct? A lot of folks out there doing some of this work who don't. So on top of, and I'm gonna go back to what she was saying about what she needs, but it's like on top of, like, part of the healing too is to recognize those individuals who are doing the work with integrity and those who are not, knowing the distinction between the two and making the choice you need to, and also not, it is not the responsibility of those who are doing integrity to fix what those who are not doing this work with integrity have done. Yet they can still be a reflection to you of what having integrity looks like, but be mindful. Part of the healing and the awareness is be mindful of who you're getting involved with.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was hearing from Sanyu as far as what she needs, and it reminds me of a word that came through, and we both listened to Bashar, channeled by Daryl Anka, and have learned a great deal from their teachings. And a transmission that's coming up, isn't it? Responsibility versus guilt. So
Mm-hmm.
the thing that folks need help with and support with is you taking responsibility for your part of the healing, so that the healer, space holder, soothsayer, all the different can do their part. Because when you don't do your part, now you're making them, or you're projecting onto them the responsibility of doing all the things. And now they're being put in a position to where they need to now exert more energy than necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Because you decided not to do your part, which is, in soothsaying, is be willing to be honest. So the work is, they're working with the energy of honesty, of here's what here's what it is. Like, there's the information, the seeing is here. I'm gonna point that out to you, and your work is to be like, I see it. I may not like it. I may be scared by it. I may have whatever reactions, but I'm not going to ignore that I see it.
Mm-hmm.
By you ignoring that you see it, not being willing to see it, that makes her job, other people's job, more strenuous. Now they're like, but I see the thing, but you're not seeing. Okay, I don't.
Yeah.
Do your work so that they can come in, do their work, and then you open the doors to your body healing whatever you need to heal, physically, emotionally, mentally. Like, take responsibility for your part in the soothsaying, in the honesty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because I do think when you were speaking, I was like, yeah, because unconditional love is allowing me the opportunity to rise to the occasion, not requiring me to, not needing me to, not depending on me to, and not waiting on me for me to. But like, if I need more space, if I need to not be around you, if I need the hard truth, if I need, whatever I might need, allowing me the opportunity to show you rather than you assuming for me. And in that, allowing yourself the opportunity to show yourself instead of assuming for yourself. And it's very much like play by play.
Yeah.
But the intentionality is consistent. How that shit works out, that's another story. But that's a part of the adventure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To have fun and see it as an opportunity to be more of who you are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And two, as your mentor Zorwin said, the best defense is opening up.
Open up. When you open up, all the stuff can flow through, and you're like, what? Like, I'm not hiding. There's no resistance. Sanyu brought in that
Mm-hmm.
word resistance, because when you're closed up, that's a resistant. Because we want to protect ourselves by doing this, but when you're rigid, resistant, then the energy comes through and it breaks you, cracks you, bent, all the things. Versus, I'm open, and it's like, cool, we can flow through, sweep through you, whatever needs to be swept through, but you're open, you're not resisting. Some part of you will die, the part of you that needs to die to be let go of, so the other parts of you can continue doing what they do.
Mm-hmm.
In a lighter state of being.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, more trust overall is what I would ask everybody. But like, trust the universe, then trust yourself, and then trust what the universe brings you. Between those things, I think we can sort this out. Humanity. We can get right, humanity. It's not over for us. Okay.
I have faith in us. I do. I do. We be doing some
Yeah.
interesting things, but I have faith in us. But
Likewise.
thank you, Sanyu, so much for gracing
Thank
us
you,
with your
Onyi, for having
presence
me.
and all the things. And please tell people how they can get in touch with you, and I'll also have it in the description as well.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Onyi Love, for having me on Heal the Healers Part 2, because we had a little technology glitch because the
Number
energy
two,
was
part
so
two.
high. Yes, 2 in the year of 2. Um, but yes, you guys can find me at sanyuestelle.com. Onyi will have the spelling of that. You can also find me on Instagram at Sanyu Estelle. You can also find me at TikTok at Sanyu Estelle. You can also find me on Patreon at Sanyu Estelle. Technically, you can find me on Twitter at Sanyu Estelle, but I don't mess with Twitter, so you can't actually find me on there because I don't think I've done anything. But my name is there somehow. And you can join my newsletter via the links on my website or in my bio on Instagram. You can join further workshops that I will be doing, both with ONYI Dreamscapes Academy, with Sony Salon, which we're bringing back full effect, and through podcasts and writing and all these things that I do. So come find me, folks.
All the things. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sanyu.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and working through with us with the technology interesting things. But it's like we gonna do what we gonna do. Y'all just work around us. But thank you again. Heal the healers. Join the initiative. Whether you are a healer, space holder, all the things that I put in the category. Get more information if you have resources to support it. If you know people who have resources to support it, all the things. We all need each other. Again, our healing is linked. There's no way around it. I heal me, I create a reflection for you, you heal yourself, you create a reflection for me, and we remember our wholeness. So join, visit my website, www.onyi.love, Instagram at onyi.love. You can find me a lot of different places. Again, I have all the links and all the information in the description. So thank you all. Much love to you, and we got this. We got this, y'all.
Yes, we got this, y'all. We got y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you, Onyi.
Thank you. Bye, Sanyu.
Bye.